Good day to you and welcome. Recently, we had some great testimonials shared with us from county employees about how they provide great customer service. So, in joining in with that, before we get started on security topics today, I thought I'd share with you how not to do customer service.
Oh no. Hey Trip, I need your help in here. Can't get the TV to work.
Would you like help with billing questions, upgrading your service, or something else?
Those are my only options.
Or if you'd like me to repeat these options.
Representative.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
0.
That doesn't do anything.
Pound.
Nor does that.
Pound, 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 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, star, 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 pound, pound.
Okay, I give up. Please hold. Please say or enter your account number.
I don't have that.
Or if you don't have it, please say or enter the last 4 digits of the primary account holder's social security number.
4457.
Thanks. Someone will be with you momentarily. Did you know you could upgrade to our Platinum Blast package for just $4.99? Just figured since your product wasn't working, you'd be in the mood to pay us even more.
Oh, stop. Trip!
What's going on, man?
Oh, there you are. Can you get the game on the TV, please?
Just having to restart my system real quick. That'll be just one moment. How are you doing today? I am going to need to re-verify your identity. I'll just need your grandfather's best friend's high school mascot's first car.
Trip? Hello? Oh, God. Do not make me start over again.
Would you like help with billing questions, upgrading your service?
Why?
Yes, good customer service is important, and this is a good opportunity to remind everyone that Security Cat is always here for you. Actually, Security Cat is our team's bot or robot program, if you will, that will respond automatically to our phishing submissions. Remember, you can always submit any suspicious email you receive to security or simply use the fish button in Outlook. Our cat will notify you that you will only receive a reply from us if the email you've submitted isn't an obvious fish or junk mail. If you don't hear from us, you can safely delete the original email and pat yourself on the back for being an alert security rock star. Of course, if the cat can't figure it out, it will let us know so that we can perform a deeper human dive into your submission. Let's start with a review of what we already know about not falling victim to a phishing attempt. Let's start with spoofing. Spoofing is when someone is forging the sender's name and email address in order to make it look legit. They often place a legit name in the middle of a fake email to try to trick your eyes into believing it's a legitimate sender. Be on the lookout for these and take a close look at the sender's email, especially if you already know what it should be. Then there are links and URLs that take you to bad places. The worst part about these is that what you see is often different from where the link actually takes you. To see this, you can hover your mouse over the link without clicking it, or if you're on a mobile device, press and hold the link until the URL appears. Here's the frustration though. Even legitimate sites like banks sends emails all the time telling you that your bank statement is available or something like that. It's confusing and crazy sometimes trying to determine what to trust and what not to trust. So here's the strategy I like to use. Don't trust links and emails by default unless you're absolutely sure it's a legit destination and you need to use that exact link. Instead, use your browser's bookmarks and favorites. When I get an email from my bank, I always use my bookmark to go to their website, not their link. It's just foolproof that way. If you don't have a bookmark of a particular site yet, Google is your friend so you can search for it. If you absolutely have to use that link in the email, such as in a web invite, hover your mouse over the link and look very closely at it. Verify beyond a doubt that it takes you to the real site before clicking. Then there's these credential stealers. These are fake websites that want your password, and they look exactly like the real thing. Oftentimes, they come as an HTML attachment to an email that's sent to you, making you think you have to log in first in order to access something. But instead, what you're really doing is putting your username and password into the bad guy's hands. For these, the URL is almost always a dead giveaway. Always check the address bar to be sure, and avoid HTML attachments that open your browser and request a login. Attachments themselves can be super dangerous if they're unexpected and from a strange source, especially if you have to do something unusual to see their content. That's because they may contain programs in them that, if run on your computer, will give a bad guy remote access to your computer without you even knowing it. If you don't expect it or it's suspicious, don't open it. Malicious attachments can infect your computer with ransomware, and you and perhaps your whole department, or maybe even the whole county, could lose access to files and even have business shut down, and that would truly be a bad day. Never reply to a suspicious email either. Why? Because you may actually be interacting with a bad guy, and we see this all the time. When you reply to an account that's under the control of a bad guy, you'll usually get a reply from the bad guy telling you everything is just fine with the message, when in reality it's not. Always contact the supposed sender in a different manner via text message or a phone call. An example we see all the time is an email or text from a boss or manager with a sense of urgency or panic, requesting things like money transfers or asking you to go out and buy gift cards and then send them the codes via email. Unfortunately, because people are often taught to do exactly what they are told, they fall for these scams. Always verify and be empowered to question the legitimacy of those emails, and always contact the person who appears to have sent it in a different manner. So if we take away one thing from today, remember that if you receive something you didn't expect and it asks you to open an unknown attachment, click on a link, log in, or take action in any manner, always verify it first. Now on to our subject for today. Multi-factor authentication is something we've been talking about for a long time now. It lets you prove who you are without having to rely on just a password. For Office 365, for example, what this means is if you try to log into your Office 365 account from an unusual location or a strange computer, Microsoft will either send you a text message, call you on the phone, send you an authenticator alert, all in order to see if it's really you logging in. So if a bad guy were able to get a hold of your password in some way and try to log into your Office 365 account from somewhere else in the world, they won't be able to. Microsoft will see it as a new login from an untrusted computer or an untrusted location, and they'll require your second factor of authentication, which is your phone. Without your phone, the bad guy won't be able to successfully log in as you. However, just like anything, multi-factor authentication isn't perfect. Well, it definitely protects your account should your password be stolen. Attackers are now using stolen passwords to, simply annoy the heck out of you. It's what we call multi-factor authentication prompt bombing attack. The bad guy tries to log in as you, and because you have control over your logins with your phone, you receive the prompt asking you to authorize the bad guy's login. Of course, since you aren't logging in at the moment, you deny it. But here's the catch. The bad guy does it again and again, so you end up receiving login authorization requests again and again. The intent of that is to make you tired of receiving these prompts and just go ahead and authorize it in order to make it stop. And when you do, the bad guy now successfully logs in as you and owns your user account. Here's a recent example of this that made the headlines. Many of you know Uber was hacked. It wasn't a serious organized crime group or a nation state, but rather actually a single teenager. The hacker was spamming one of Uber's social media accounts, so it was discovered pretty quickly. They somehow got a hold of a user's username and password. It's not clear how they got that password yet. Perhaps they bought it from a stolen credential site or got it through a phishing attempt. Some reports say the victim's Slack account was compromised. Now, Uber had multi-factor authentication enabled, which meant that even with this person's username and password, the hacker could not log in because the employee had to approve that login. And here's where the multi-factor authentication bombing started. The attacker kept trying to log in, so the victim's phone was literally blown up with notifications, hoping that the victim would either accidentally hit yes or just get tired of the notifications and approve it anyway. But in this case, the victim didn't give in. So the hacker contacted the employee directly on WhatsApp and claimed to be from Uber's IT department and asked the victim to manually approve the login in order to make the notification stop. And you know what? The victim did. Now the attacker had full control of the account. What happened next is where things get really bad for Uber. After scanning the network, the attacker found a shared drive with a script that had administrative credentials for the internal software that manages all their other important network credentials. At this point, they had compromised a large part of Uber's network. So what should we do if this happens to us? The first thing we should do is call the IT service desk and let them know. They have the ability to look at the current attempted login sessions and perhaps bump an attacker off the system. After that, we need to change our passphrase immediately so the attacker no longer has it, and the service desk can help with that as well. But what if this happens in the middle of the night or when the service desk is closed? The best approach then is to silence the requests and just simply ignore them. When it appears that they have stopped, changing your passphrase is the next important step. You'll still want to notify the service desk so that they can verify that the attacker has indeed given up. So how can we change things so this doesn't occur anymore? Well, technologies in our industry are changing in response to this problem, and newer, more foolproof means of proving who you are on the horizon. The county's Information Technology Department will keep you posted on these as they become available. Keep in mind with all of these things that we are constantly targeted by the bad guys so that they can get access to our network, our computers, our county information, and even our personal information on ESS. Always be suspicious and alert. You'll be glad you did. That's it for today. Thanks for joining us.